You will never be a good printer until you master this skill. It's the easiest, the most effective, and it's a really simple technique. Mastering one color prints. Take it easy. Let me explain. Let's be honest. Anybody can screen print a one color design like this. It's really not that hard. Now, the biggest mistake that I see when somebody learns something so simple like that, right away, they want to jump to something bigger, like a multicolor design, CMYK prints, or anything more advanced. Slow down. There's still a lot more that you have to learn. For example, have you tried one color halftones, one color puff prints, one color glitter prints? Have you heard of print flash print? Do you know what mesh count is good for white ink, for an underbase, or for inks that are watery? Do you know what's a good off contact for a t-shirt or for a sweater? And there's a lot more that you have to learn. So don't rush, because you will get overwhelmed, just like I did. I've been screen printing for 5 years, 5 long years, and I still make a lot of mistakes. So there's times where I have to go all the way back to the basics, to the fundamentals, and work myself back up so I could get back on track. And that's exactly what we're gonna do in this video. So stick around, you might learn something new. Now, let's get to work. Everything starts right here in the computer. Because if you wanna have a great quality print, you have to have a great quality design. So this is a print that we have to do today. It's a multiple color design with gradient. But since it's a small order of 25 t-shirts and he's gonna give those t-shirts away, his best option was to convert that design into a one color print. It just made a lot of sense and it's gonna save him a lot of money. So we're printing a white design on a black t-shirt. And it seems pretty simple, right? And it is. But for some reason, people struggle printing with white ink. I don't know. They just struggle. Now, this is why it's important to know from the start what mesh count works great with what design. So we go back to the basics. Low mesh screens are really good for big bold designs or thick inks like white ink or glitter ink. Higher mesh screens are good for higher detail designs or inks that are a little bit more thin, watery, if that makes any sense. For a design like this on white ink, I could use a 110 or a 156, but I'm gonna go with a 156 mesh since I'm gonna do print flash print. Now, when I do print flash print, here's a little trick that I like to do on my designs. I undercut the whole design by a hairline. It's gonna help me not blow out the fine edges on the design or cover any small details since I'm adding 2 layers of white ink on it. It's a simple baby little thing that makes a huge difference when printing.
Tree, the last weekend of summer, the empire at our fingertips, the autumn to discover. If I would have had the worthiness to be the perfect lover, would you stay under the willow tree?
Now, burning your screens is probably the hardest step in screen printing, if you don't know what you're doing. But if you do know, then you can easily use any type of equipment, even if it's the cheapest, to get good results. When I started screen printing, I used to wash off my design with my shower head, then with my garden hose, even with a spray bottle. But the best option is with a power washer. And that's because I knew what I was doing. Okay, so we're gonna focus on 4 main things, just so you can master this step. First, know your equipment and your material, because every order and every design is always different. But your material and your equipment stays the same most of the time, unless you upgrade. Do a lot of testings with your exposure unit, with your emulsions, even with the room that you're drying your screens in, that you're exposing your screens on. Try to control the humidity, the temperature in that room, so your burning process could be a lot easier. Second, make sure that you coat your screens correctly. And this is how I coat my screens. As soon as I finish washing them, I let them sit in front of a fan for 30 minutes. After that, boom. Right away, they get quoted. Yeah, I quote them $30. I'm just playing. For some reason, I always mix up those 2 words, quote and quote. But I quote them 2 times in the back and 1 time in the front. And I dry them with the squeegee side facing up. If I want to speed up the process, I put a fan in front of them. If not, then I just let them sit overnight. Third, this one's a simple one. Make sure that your film positive is dark and opaque. Trust me, it's gonna save you a lot of headaches. Fourth, make sure that you find the right exposure time. Leaving your screens just a couple seconds under the exposure unit can make a big difference. for good or for bad. Maybe not for these big bold designs, but when you start doing higher detail designs like halftones, you will see. Now, to find the perfect exposure time, you're gonna need an exposure calculator that you can find right here at Screen Print Direct. It's really easy to use and it's only $14. On top of that, right here in this website, they have videos and templates that will guide you in the right direction to learn how to use it properly. With mostly all the equipment and materials that they sell, they have videos and templates, which is pretty awesome. I've been using their equipment and material for the past 5 years, so I highly recommend them. And those who follow me should already know that. But they offer more than just products. They also have these educational videos that you can download for free. And if you're super new to screen printing and don't know how to price their t-shirts, they also have this awesome pricing calculator that you can try for free. And if you don't have a computer, you can easily try it on your phone. I'm gonna add the link in the bio. And if you guys use the code MiloPrints for anything that you purchase in there, you get a 15% discount. Thank you Screen Print Direct for sponsoring this video. Let's continue. Let's get back on track. After I finish exposing my screens, I take them to my washout booth, like right away, and I rinse them front and back, and let them sit there for 30 seconds. After that, I pop that design off. Alright, setting up for one color prints is the easiest, but I feel like there's little tiny steps in there that you should master before moving to something more advanced. First, after your screen is dry, exposing it again to your exposure unit or to sunlight can reharden the emulsion, which makes the screen last a little bit longer. Second, keep your center lines consistent all the time. Mark them in the same spot all the time, so your registration can be a lot easier. Also, do the same thing when burning your designs on your screen. Third, your off contact. I believe a good off contact when printing on a t-shirt is between 1/16 of an inch to 1/8 of an inch. Mastering this little step is super important because it's gonna guide you to know how to add the right pressure when printing. Once again, when you print big bold designs, you can get away with so many things, but when it comes to printing higher detail designs, adding the right pressure can make a huge difference. Fourth, make sure you use the right equipment for the right project. For example, if you're printing a left chest print, make sure that you use the right squeegee. It's gonna help you run everything a lot smoother. Fifth, take your time and prep your ink. A lot of the times, all you gotta do is just stir your ink. But if that doesn't work, you could try other techniques like warming up your ink or adding a reducer so your ink could be nice and smooth. If you wanna learn more about this, I have a full YouTube video on my channel that explains this whole process step by step, just in case if you want to check it out. 6. Try to find out which technique works better for you. Is it pulling the squeegee or pushing the squeegee? My first 3 years of printing, I was pushing my ink through all my prints. These past 2 years, I've been pulling it. And now, I'm doing both. If I feel fatigued or my elbows hurt, or I gotta print a big bold design with thick ink, I'll just push the ink. But my first option is to pull the ink now. But I will recommend for you guys to master one because you will get confused. Me, I'm built different. I'm just kidding. I'm just sensitive. Now, there's two main reasons why mastering that one color print it's super important. First, it's the foundation of screen printing. All the basics are there. Even if you print a multi-color design, you don't print all those colors at once. You print one at a time. So each color has its own squeegee and its own screen. Second, one color prints are the money makers of screen printing. 60 to 70% of the time, you're gonna be printing 1 or 2 color prints. So it's very important and it makes a lot of sense to master those one color prints. Now, if you wanna learn the correct way to screen print, I'm gonna add a video up here that's gonna guide you on the right direction. If you wanna know what screen printing equipment you need, I'm gonna add another video up here. Hopefully this video was helpful in any way. Thank you guys so much for the love and the support. Have a beautiful day and God bless you all.